Hi everyone, welcome to Camilla Cava Food Photography Podcast, a place where I interview talents in food photography industry to learn ins and outs to help you and myself grow food photography career. In today's episode, I talk to a lovely food photographer, Riham Mahdy from Dubai. Riham has found her niche in food photography, photographing levitating images of food, bringing a viewer into the magical scenes. I just love her photos and was super curious to learn how such magic is created. So I was very happy to jump on a call and talk all about it with Riham. Besides her behind the scenes, we also talked about creativity, working in Dubai, and starting as a food photographer. So without further ado, let's welcome Riham. Hi, Riham.
Hi,
Welcome to the podcast.
thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. So, for the listeners that might not know you, could you tell a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay, my name is Riham. I'm from Photoshoot by Riham on Instagram. I work as a food photographer. I used to be an interior architect before that, back in the days, but now I'm a food photographer and product photographer as well.
Really cool. How long are you photographing food now?
Oh, my page is from 1 year, I guess, and I have been like more than that. It's my passion since I was young, but
Uh-huh.
I pursue it as a career for like maybe a year. Yeah, let's say a year, year and a half.
Okay, sick. So it's
Yeah,
pretty new. How
yeah.
did you do your career switch then?
Oh, uh, it's a long story and a funny story. I didn't know that food photographer or food photography is like a business or can be a business or in demand or whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
love to take picture of food. I really love to. Since I was young, I take it for myself, not for even to show anyone, not even to post on my personal Instagram or anything like this. And then one time, some of my friends say, "Oh, you took great picture. Why don't you just take picture for business and do food photographer, be food photographer?" It was so weird for me. I say, what is this? How do you? then,
Uh-huh.
then I searched about it, and it's led to this. It's my passion, and I need to switch my career because I
Uh-huh.
feel like it's has been photography has been my passion since
Mm-hmm.
forever. So it was incredible, incredibly good. I got the chance to do what I do now, and I love it. I love my work now, so it's all good.
Sick. So did you just quit like that out of like,
No, not
well, let's
really.
say nowhere, or did you first found some clients and then in the meantime still doing interior
No,
architecture?
I used to do a freelance at this moment or interior architect
Uh-huh.
freelancing. So I was already not having like a day 9 to 5 job.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
So
time.
yeah, so
Nice.
it's kind of worked. But now
Uh-huh.
I'm a full-time food photographer, so it's really great. Yeah.
How exciting. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious because you mostly work in Dubai?
Yes, I live in Dubai, I work in Dubai, and all over UAE, but I'm based in Dubai.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how is it like, what is it like to be a food photographer there?
Actually, Dubai is as versatile as its residents. It's full of different cuisines, different people,
Mm-hmm.
full of restaurant. Eating out here is not weird at all. It's like normal. Eating out is very popular. So people actually want food photographer because social media here is a very good for marketing here. It's very good source for marketing. So they need a lot of taking picture all the time. They need new content for them for the restaurant. So it's actually in demand, to be honest.
Cool. And is there a
Yeah.
lot of competition for you there?
He- Kinda, but not very much. It's like not really actually because it's a very big country. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so and a lot of
A lot
restaurants.
of work.
Yeah,
Awesome. And
yeah,
mostly restaurants you work now with, or do
yeah.
you
I
work
work
with
for
brands as well?
no for mostly for restaurants now. Yeah, and it
And how did
depends.
you start at that? How did you land your first restaurant jobs?
I actually started to go to ask to tell people, oh, I can take picture for your restaurant, but actually did like one shoot for this, and
Uh-huh.
then it's kind of happened. Some people called me through Instagram and say, oh yeah, we love your picture. Please come and do a
Sick.
photo shoot for
Uh-huh.
us. And then it came, the this restaurant till this restaurant, and it all came
Like
to
word
me.
of mouth.
Yeah,
Wow,
word of
amazing.
mouth is where, yeah, it really worked for me, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Sick. And how did you find your first one then? You just cold call, you just
yeah.
went to the
I just
restaurants and asked
Yeah,
if you can photograph?
I send them a
Amazing.
message, an email. I tell them, okay, I can take a picture for you for free
Uh-huh.
for like
Uh-huh.
couple of pictures for free. Then
Awesome.
we can, if you like my picture, we can do more. If you like them, we can make an offer. Whatever like that. So we
Yeah.
actually did. I did like just one or two, if I
And then
recall.
it just started rolling.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. That's
To
it.
be honest, that's how I started as well.
Yeah,
Going
I
for
think
free
for
to the restaurants to start like
yeah,
rolling, learn how to work with a client,
yeah,
and then it just
yes, just happened.
starts picking up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
And now it's basically mostly word of mouth and probably your Instagram,
yeah,
right?
and Instagram, yeah, I get a lot from Instagram, to be honest.
I bet. I mean, your Instagram, that's why I contact you. It's
Oh,
it's really, 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 really
oh,
cool. I
thank
mean,
you.
the way you photograph food. So for again, people that don't know Riham, go check out her Instagram because
Oh, thank
she has such cool images where you can see it's like magical setups where food is in the air and there's so
yeah,
much happening. So I was just wondering, how did you got into this style of like,
okay.
let's say, flying food
It may be a
photography?
little weird. I want to live in a fairy tale, to be honest. I love
Uh-huh.
magical stuff. I love to win. I want to be able to have a superpower to float, make things float, to levitate everything around me. So I love that kind of stuff. And I love to let my imagination go wild. It's really, really making me like, out of the box. Why can we always see photos in the food in a certain way? But sometimes
Mhm.
we miss this little moment of this splash, this little drop or something like that. I love this moment. This moment for me is, oh my gosh, it's beautiful and no one sees it. So I try to pretend like I'm a magical in a magical world through my pictures.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and show food in a different way than anything else. Yeah, and
Sick.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's it.
Nice. And okay, so let's say, can we walk through? Because I'm very curious, and I bet
Yeah.
my listeners are. How does this whole process look like? So let's start with the idea generation. How do you think of the idea?
Okay, it comes from me still from different weird thing. I sometimes I get ideas from dishes in the sink. I got one
Mm-hmm.
picture. I just saw the cups in the sink put on top of each other, and I was washing dishes. I say, "Oh, this looks nice," and then I have an idea in my mind. Then I
Uh-huh.
sometimes I sketch, but I rarely do that these days because when I'm doing it, I just know my creative, juices are flowing, and I change this and this and this and just have an idea, an overall idea, a big
Mm-hmm.
idea. Then I try to make it work for what I pretended, and it goes. The juice is flowing when I shoot. It's like I usually starts with a big idea and turn out to another idea, but the end
Uh-huh.
they are coming from the same weird thing, like cups. Like I have a picture
Right.
for noodles flying or spaghetti flying.
Yeah, I saw like a tornado.
Yeah, we had a sandstorm, and my daughter said,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, we are getting tornado." That's then. Oh, I can do it like noodles.
Uh-huh. And create
That's
that.
yeah, and
Very
created one.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
sometimes.
did you mention that you sketch the food then before
Yeah,
photographing or no?
sometimes if I really can't imagine it, how it will be, the styling around it.
Uh-huh.
But I really do these days. I
Mm-hmm.
actually it's been a while since I done it. But if it's really like hard for me to imagine how I'm going to hold it from there, hold it from here,
Mm-hmm.
I make a picture or a sketch or something. Just an over, that a very basic sketch to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That would be like a beginning, like first idea
Yeah.
generation, then probably, if necessary, sketching out, and then you
Yes.
set it up.
Yeah.
And then you set it up. So let's walk through that process because I'm curious. Do
Yeah.
you first start with the lighting, or do you first start with
No.
already putting things,
No, putting things,
styling?
I saw, especially when I do the floating stuff and the levitation,
Mm-hmm.
I put them first to know
Right.
without the main, the hero or whatever. I put all my setup,
Mm-hmm.
all my styling, and then figure out the light. Then I put my subject because usually it's just one shot. I have to take it in one shot or a couple of shots because I have to. If I made a mistake and didn't catch it right, I have to clean up and do the whole process again.
Crap. Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. I hate the cleaning part. So I usually do this lighting and the camera last thing.
Uh-huh.
and just put the food and just click. That's it.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
So okay, so now we're building the scene.
yeah,
And how do you, okay, what are your tricks there? Because things are in the air, right? They're
yeah.
flying. How do you do that?
I sometimes I use different techniques. I'm actually testing out different techniques now because it's terrible to set up and it takes a very long time to set up. I usually hang stuff with a string because the more stable and I can control
Hmm.
it and it will stay in their place for the whole shoot. But sometimes I can't do this because I need to move it somehow or I need to switch it, so it
Hmm.
takes a whole long time to take it out, to take the string out and hang it again and do all the stuff.
Mm.
So sometimes I use, the like toothpicks to stand on. I don't know what it's called. The flower thing that puts a flower in it. The green thing is look like a
Oh, I know
flower.
what you're talking about, but I
Yeah, but
have
I
no
don't.
idea what it's
Me
called.
too. Me too. I
This
have no
green
idea.
spongy thing that you
Yeah,
put, and then
yeah,
you can create
exactly.
like beautiful flower things.
Yeah,
Okay.
and some, bamboo sticks or something like that. Anything
Uh-huh.
around me. Sometimes a fork. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
I just use if it's a flat thing, like anything like flat, anything around me. I just hang it with whatever I have. I'm trying to make something like a thing that I can set up in just minutes because it takes trial and error all the time. And sometimes all my setup fall down. And I use sometimes the
Oh,
clip, the clip for the phone. I don't know what's called as well. It's the clip like a clip, metal clip, a hook with a metal clip. I don't know. Maybe it's a picture in my. I have a picture.
like clams?
Yeah, like a clamps. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I use different stuff, but I'm trying to
To
figure
make
out
money.
a good technique, and I'm going to share it on my page
Mm-hmm.
soon because it's
Oh,
really
nice.
yeah,
Would be very interesting to see behind the scenes of your
yeah.
work for sure.
Oh, it's a mess. Usually, I don't post behind the scenes because it's a total mess, and
Oh, yeah, yeah, well,
I rush to do everything in time, so I totally forget to take a picture. When I take a picture, it's all
I
messed
have it
and
so often
yeah,
also.
and I have to clean very fast because if my stuff gets dirty, I have to clean
Hmm.
my diffuser and softbox, and oh, my splashes everywhere and on the background. So it's like a huge,
Yeah,
very
my
hectic.
softbox is a mess as well. Like all the white stuff is now with like a
Ah, yes,
brown splashes and stuff.
yes, splashes. Oh, it
I
goes
know.
everywhere in the house, and I hate it. Well, I have to clean right away. So
I know. It's
yeah,
annoying.
yeah,
But okay, to come back of your setup,
yes,
let's say you hang things on the string. Is that a fish wire?
yes. It's a fish wire. Yes,
Because that's like, yeah, that's
yes.
what I'm usually used to. And what do you hang it on? So what is above that you hang it
Uh,
on?
like a C stand. It's a C stand. Just a
It's
C
on a
stand.
C stand. So
Yeah.
you have one C stand, and then
One
basically
C
everything hangs in one line, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes because I need different, behind whatever I
Yeah, that's what I
use.
was wondering.
Yeah, the wire, I have a metal wire that's flexible. So I usually do like, yeah, I hang it, but it needs to be light, subject to being light in order not to
Uh-huh,
fall
right.
down. It just, I hook it like around the C stand's arm
Mm-hmm.
and just put it away for a little bit. But I usually
Right,
try not to do this because it's if I make a little mistake, it will fall. Yeah.
right. Because it's yeah, it's very lightweight, and you
If I
string it
yes,
around
bring
it,
it,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right, makes sense.
yeah.
And
I
then if
yeah,
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 sorry.
yeah. It's okay. You continue. I think I sometimes use that as well. Another, like the stand that we bought background on top of it. The big arm one behind background. And the background you want, the background is like C stand. It's like stand as well. I can
Like
sometimes.
this like the square one
Yes,
almost.
it's great.
I don't know how they're called. I don't know how they're called.
Yeah, me
But
too.
yeah, the one where you hang backgrounds on.
Yes, the one you hang backgrounds on the stands. I usually use the light stand, the regular light stand to do this.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I just do
Nice.
different things and try different setup every time. But I
Yeah.
usually do the strings and just stand the strings, and the rest is
Mhm.
okay. And the ones on the table, I usually put something underneath. Maybe the makeup sponges that have a
Uh-huh,
triangle
yeah.
shape underneath it. I put like an ice cube, the fake ice cube underneath it to make it float a little, and then remove it afterward.
Oh,
And
smart.
yeah. And before all of that, I have to remember to take a picture of the the whole scene without any strings, without anything.
Oh yeah, for photoshopping
Yeah,
afterwards.
because sometimes I
Mhm.
can't take any, I can't put the healing, the healing brush on Photoshop.
Yeah, yeah.
So I need it sometimes, but not always I take that. But sometimes I really need it to just clean up
Hmm.
it, be like perfect after it ends.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially for the plates, if you put sponge or something, it can be
Yeah,
quite difficult to remove, or
yes.
your hand holding
Yeah,
the
the hand. Yeah.
toothpick, something like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah,
toothpick is
yeah,
also pretty thick, right? So
yeah.
you usually use the scene that's photographed with nothing
With
to do the
nothing.
photoshopping for most.
Yes.
Makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I
because
have to
it's a bit.
remember step. It's the whole process, so I have to remember every step.
Uh-huh. That's true, because otherwise it becomes difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of difficult, but it's fun to do. To be honest, it's terrible. It's fun to do. It's hard,
I know.
but it's really
That's
fun.
good because
Yeah,
it looks magical afterwards. It's
yeah, it's worth it.
looks very special.
It really worth.
Um, then I bet for you it's very important that the camera stays in exactly same
Yeah,
position.
yeah, yeah.
So how do you, are you using only a stand or do you put some weights on the stand just to make sure that nothing moves out of
No, no, just a tripod, and I just tell everyone not come near it, and I put it, and I have to be extremely careful. Even if I press the camera itself, it
it? Mhm.
sometimes moves a little bit. It sometimes
Yeah,
ruin the whole thing, but I usually use a remote if
right.
it's the scene, if a very sensitive scene, I use a remote. Other than that, I usually press it and
Makes
take
sense.
it on timer or something. It will staple and do the shot. But
Makes sense.
yeah, yeah. This is the easy part. Pressing the button is the easy part.
I know. Otherwise, if you press camera, it definitely moves.
Yeah,
Like those millimeters already for photoshopping
timer.
makes it difficult.
Yeah, yeah. For the I usually use a timer, even if I'm standing
Mhm.
right next to it and just taking a picture. I still put a timer
Yeah,
in it, so it's like a staple before I take the picture.
yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Okay, so but with that idea, I wonder like, aren't you like when you start setting up, you need to not to forget to, as you mentioned,
yeah.
take a
Sometimes,
shot without nothing.
yeah.
But aren't you at certain point like building scene and you realize that you didn't left enough space or something like that? Does that
Yeah,
happen as well?
multiple times. Yeah, I actually maybe last week I ruined two shoes because I totally forget to crop. Instagram crops it, and if I put it whole, I there's some junk in here I couldn't remove, so it was
Mm.
terrible. Sometimes you have to be very specific and very dosed and remember to do this before this before this. It's a
Otherwise, you have to start over
yeah, I have
or
to
not.
start over, yeah. Because sometimes the shadows as well, I have to put the shadows if sometimes I take it separate pictures. If it's
Uh-huh.
our scene, I take like one picture with this and put them together in Photoshop. But the shadows itself, it doesn't look realistic. I have to figure out, oh, the shadows, it will be here. The level of the
Mhm.
of this will be here. It's just it's a lot of planning, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I keep
How long
doing
does it take a
myself.
shoot like that?
Oh, usually an hour
An
to,
hour
yeah, to shoot it. The
for
edit,
one shot.
yeah, the edit itself maybe takes another hour. Yeah, it takes a
Uh-huh.
lot of editing. Yeah, and a lot of
And you
preparing of the editing. Yeah,
and you shoot with artificial light then or not?
yeah, yeah. I
Makes
have
it
to.
easier, I guess.
Yeah, The- it's the whole process.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm curious because I saw that we just talked about it. The how's it called? Like the tornado of the pasta. How did you do that?
Oh, was extremely hard. I tried for this particular one. I took like 4 hours to shoot. I tried.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I didn't want, I know there is a trick out there that if you can put like a plastic and make it a roll, a plastic paper
Uh-huh.
and make it a roll and just put the noodles around it and glue them or whatever. But I think I don't like the idea. It will take a very long time for me to do so. So I just bring a fork and put the noodles around it, lots of noodle at the top and less noodle at the bottom, and just hold it with another fork and just roll it in the air.
Oh
So
my
I did the
God.
second one. It took like 5 hours. I I actually wasted a lot of pasta on the floor that day. But yeah, yeah, it was a huge mess. It took 5 hours, and maybe this was like 100th time to do, and I didn't get it right until this one. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Crazy.
yeah. And I have to do. There is a little splash them on the plate from the sauce. I have to do it in separate picture. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So it took more than the yeah. It was really really hard. This one was very hard. Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
yeah,
bet.
but
But it
I
looks
like
really cool. Very
yeah, I
special, I
was
think.
extremely happy to do it. And the edit actually, it was easy. The edit was very easy. Mm,
Hmm.
So weird. It was so hard to shoot. It took 5 hours, but it was very easy. It just like took like 30 minutes from
Uh-huh.
beginning to end to edit it, to put everything to on Lightroom and Photoshop. Everything took 30 minutes. So it
Well,
was
because you made a perfection in the
yeah,
beginning. That's
it took like 100
yeah,
tries. Yeah.
even more sick.
Actually,
Cool.
in the past, at what point they are all on the floor, I had to make a new patch. Yeah. Yeah, it was
And
terrible.
start over again.
Yeah, I
Oh,
hate wasting food, but this time was terrible. And I was, no, I will get it right. I didn't give up. I will get it right. I will try again.
but that's a good attitude, yeah. And then
Yeah.
you until you get your perfect image.
Yeah. At the beginning, when I start taking picture, I didn't know how to do like the movement and the motion and capture
Hmm.
sharp motion.
Hmm.
And actually, at what point I was telling myself, "Oh, I can't give up. I need to try." And I'm so proud of myself. To be honest, I have to say this to myself. I'm so proud that I can get it now like this and know exactly what to do. And I just practice. Practice is the key here.
Yeah, practice makes it work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
practice makes perfect. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Okay, and then I have now in front of me another shot of yours where I was wondering how you
yeah,
did that.
yeah.
So it's the one there you see an egg falling and a butter, and then it says flour
Yeah,
sugar out of something.
yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay, how did you make that? So first of all, how did you do the flour sugar written in there?
I I write on the paper a flour and then put a glue on top and put sugar on top of it and cut the flour word and one for the sugar, one for the flour.
No
Yeah, I
way!
got a little crafty that day.
Sick! And
Yeah,
then you just hanged it.
yeah, I just hang it with a string and let it
What?
and then drop. This one actually was like couple of picture together because I have to do like a specific place to drop the sugar and the flour from
Uh-huh.
the end. Yeah, but it
Yeah,
was
I see, because like at the end of the letters,
yeah
it
at the
just
end of
goes
the
like
letter,
was.
so it looked like it's falling from the word.
Wow,
Yeah.
sick. And so you just dropped the sugar and the flour just
No, actually, I pour it from I pour it from like a tube to be like a specific, like it looked
uh-huh.
like it's really coming out from the end of the letter.
So you just like spray it or what? Like
Yeah, some I sprayed some. No, I actually pour it like when you pour milk. Yeah,
uh-huh.
so it gets at the end and try to do it a little bit, and the angle I have to get the angle perfect. Yeah,
That is so creative.
yeah, I love this.
And then the egg you just like open and just
Uh,
capture the dropping.
yeah, the egg itself. Which one? Yeah, the egg itself. I
Right?
did with different.
Open and close
Yeah,
the
yeah,
egg.
yeah, yeah. The open and close. The one that open, I just flashed it. Yeah,
Yeah, probably before or after, right? So that you can
yeah,
Photoshop it in.
and after,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And the other one is hanged?
Yes, it's actually on top of the milk glass, that glass bottle. I don't remember glass bottle.
How did you
Really?
make it stand there?
Okay. You know that it's. I put like a little bit. It's called, I think, packet or something. It's like I think like Play-Doh but sticky things. I think.
Like to hang the posters on the wall and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
Yes, on
Hmm.
top of the bottle and put the egg on top. Yeah,
Every
and
time I try, because everybody recommends me those, but every time I try to stick something with those white
yeah.
things, it just doesn't work for me.
It's a lot of maneuver. You have to maneuver it in the exact point because the weight needs to be on top of it.
Mm,
The egg
I
itself,
need
I
to
have to.
practice also, I
Yeah, I
think.
actually broke an egg because of that.
Really?
Yeah, I had to clean up. I start over
Oh,
because it's fall.
Jesus.
As I taking a picture, it was falling, and I didn't get a good shot. If I was getting a good shot, I was
That
so
would be a cool shot as well,
yeah,
yeah.
but it wasn't cool at all.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I have to clean and I have to get out. By the way, this one there is a little teeny tiny drop coming out from it. I have to put milk inside of the with a syringe in the
Yeah.
yeah, at the beginning of the bottle, so it's got like just a perfect drop.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
How did you do that drop?
yeah. With a syringe, I put milk in the syringe. You know,
Oh,
the
the
medical
syringe.
syringe. Yeah, to get it like
Ah,
to get as soon as I take the shot, it will just drop as soon as I think.
sick.
Yeah.
But then is your hand still in the shot and you later photoshopped, or you just
Yeah,
moved that quick?
yes, I moved it. No, I filled it actually. I filled it more than I needed, and just press with a remote control. I just
Uh-huh.
press the button, and it
Mhm.
clicked as soon as I moved away. So just perfect drop.
Yeah, it looks
Little bit.
perfect. Now
Oh,
this image is really, really cool.
yeah,
It's
that's why.
so much work also put in here, you can see.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you. Actually, that's what I'm telling you. I had a big idea of doing this like a flower and the sugar thing. Actually, I was
Uh-huh.
painting with my daughter, and she was coloring a paper, and she was telling me to color in the middle of the word for hers, I think. And
Uh-huh.
she told me, "Oh, we can glue some glitter," and then I can put flowers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you gave me an idea.
Sick.
Yeah, she's not weirded at all now. I tell her, she said, "Okay, mommy, you do whatever you want." Okay.
Oh my God. But
You,
that's really cool. Like, but it's also, I think that's really also impressive where you just grow throughout your life and just get sudden
yeah.
inspirations.
I wish there is a
Very
universal
creative.
recipe to get creative or to get those ideas, but no, you just get it from your stuff. Maybe sometimes I get when I'm setting like the light hits something differently. I
Uh-huh.
think, oh, this will look cool if I put a drink in this glass and light it from this, like everything. And Pinterest. Oh my gosh, Pinterest is
Mm.
it's very good. I just browse, not a specific thing. I just write food photography or whatever, and just browse. It gives me like lots of ideas to do. Maybe I like this part of this picture, I like this part of this picture. Oh, what if I do this with them? It will look a whole new idea. It will be a whole new
Completely new. Yeah.
it's so it gets from everywhere. You can get creative from anywhere. Yeah.
Amazing. And do you cook food yourself?
Yes, but I hate cooking. I cook it
Oh.
myself, but I hate cooking. I love to eat. I'm a huge foodie, and that's why I
Uh-huh.
got into food photography, especially because I think food is great. Food is so enjoyable. Oh my gosh, I love it, but I hate cooking. I love to eat, but I hate cooking.
That makes it tricky.
Yeah, it makes very tricky. It's the hardest part for me is cooking food.
And for me, to be honest, for me as well, the
Yeah,
cooking. I'm not that good at it.
yeah,
So later I try to like, yeah, make food look pretty, but it tastes like,
yes, yeah. Let's
I don't know.
let's make it.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Sometimes I make it look like it doesn't have any seasoning or it doesn't eatable at all. I continue doing it after I take the shoot, but well, it looked good in the picture.
I know. I have it so often now.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, another thing I wanted to ask you, but I saw you indeed do a lot of splashes and splishes and powders and etc. Do you have a way of protecting your equipment, or you just let
So
it all?
no, I will sometimes let off. It depends on the how much of a mess I want to create. If it's a
Mhm.
huge mess, I sometimes put it my setup a little bit far from the scene and just crop it in Lightroom afterwards. But I usually put the first thing I need to do to protect my lens. So I usually put the hood on top of it to protect it somehow. Protect it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
A
it's
little bit.
I bent a little bit, yeah, but I'm trying and do a little bit far if it's really a big splash I'm going to do. But the
Uh-huh.
rest, the modifier and the softbox and diffusers and whatever's, I usually wipe it as soon as I'm done. As soon as it's
Mm.
finished, the first thing I do, not even checking the picture, I have to wipe it. I always use a microfiber cloth with me to wipe it as soon as it happens to not leave. But still, it's got dirty after a while. But yeah, but I try my best.
To keep
Yeah,
it clean, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because I saw like some photographers use like a
Plastic.
see-through plastic, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was wondering about if
So
you
I
had
use it.
experience with that.
Yeah. I did, but as I said, I'm trying to figure out a way to do like this kind of shoots, like splashes, like levitation, and the messy shoots,
Mhm.
and do it as fast as I can. because I'm already busy with shoots, the other client shoots, and I do Instagram. This is an artistic place for me. This is an extra work. I don't shoot for clients and show it on my page because I think it's my a way of creative. I do lots of shoot for clients, but it's my way to show my own creativity, my own imagination, and to choose something different, artistic, rather than just a client work with the same things. And so I try my best to do this. So it's like extra work for me. So I needed to do fast and good and have a very good idea. So the backgrounds usually I try to put the plastic to protect my area, but it actually end up, I don't know, I the setup itself, it took a long time. So I just one day I just, oh, I was lazy, so I didn't do it. And I figure out it helps a little bit, but I'm trying to be away from any walls around me or anything.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I protect, no, of course, no carpets on the floor. Carpets on the floor will be so I removed everything and just put sample. Sometimes I put sample, you know, like a cloth or something to protect, to collect a little bit of water or whatever the fluid I'm
Yeah.
using, yeah, to protect the floor. But that's it. But
Doesn't help much, does it?
yeah, doesn't help much actually because I'm having
Oh,
bugs everywhere. And
I
even
have
if
the
there's a
same.
plastic, I found out that modifier and stuff and softbox need to the light. Oh, it will still, I have to clean it anyways. And this is
Yeah.
my least favorite part of the whole shoot, cleaning up. Oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Takes a
Um,
while, doesn't it?
yeah, I hate it. I usually do it like, oh my gosh, I have to clean up, and yeah, it's terrible.
And
And
you're already tired from the shoot and everything, I know.
it was really hard. Yeah, so I sit like usually sometimes I sit and look at it. I have to clean it. I have to really get to clean it. And there's this, oh, I do it with my face like if I'm so angry. I have to clean. Yeah, especially I usually clean my equipment, as I say, the softbox and like immediately. But the floor and the table and oh, there's a backgrounds. I have to clean the backgrounds. So it's terrible.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Maybe one day you need an assistant or
yeah,
an
yeah,
intern. That sounds good. I'd like one.
yeah. Me too. It would be perfect.
Right?
I think he will clean a lot. He will hit me or she will hit me.
Oh, I know. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
um, so now one of the last questions.
Yes.
What would your advice would be how to get better in food photography?
Practice. This is practice, practice, practice. Actually, I can't. And I saw it myself. If I practice every day, even for a simple shot, I will improve immediately. It proves the gain from it. Practicing is more. It's you say practice makes perfect. It's really is
Mhm.
makes perfect. Practice, just practice, and you know, use the internet, use the learning available, the free learning. Because I heard some of my followers could send me a message. Oh, I don't have the money to take this course. I don't have the money to do this. I say, okay, you can. YouTube is there, internet is there everywhere. Free resources everywhere. Just look for anything you want. If you see something you like, how to do a splash or whatever, you see, search for it, how to do a splash. Look for all the data available online. Look for the videos. See, try it for yourself. You might find a new technique for yourself to do it better. This is the best thing, I guess. Practice and learn and try and error. Yeah, and that's it, I guess. And you have to try, practice and trying, and don't give up. Really, don't
Yeah,
give up.
that's a good one. Don't give
Yeah,
up. Just
don't give up.
shoot until you
Yeah,
get it right.
yeah. Just keep swimming.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah,
And if you're not sure if something is really bothering, just contact other
yeah,
people and
yeah.
ask. It's okay to ask, right?
Yes, it's okay to ask. Of course, it's okay to ask. Yeah, you try.
So, what would be your recommended actually sources of inspiration of like where you learned from, let's say for books, blogs,
Yeah.
influencers, anything?
So the pie shop, actually, that's one what made me first started. As I said, I didn't even know what food photography is, what is the rules, what is how to start it. I watched, yeah, the pie shop on YouTube. I actually binge watched all her videos in one day, I guess. And I can't remember, she have an easy way to make you feel like, oh, it's easy, let's do it, just try. She's so positive, and she gives you, the information in a very easy way. This is my first one. I have to say it helped me a ton, a ton. It really helped me. And there's a book I read where it also helped me. It's called, I think, Light, Magic, and Science. Yes, yeah, it's very good. Everyone recommends it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's very good results. And any video you find, any tutorial you find, just watch it. I'm a visual learner, so I don't read a lot of books. I really need to see a video or something, so I really recommend that. There's a lot of internet free resources. Just look around. If you search even for food photography online, you will find a ton of resources, videos for people. Yeah, and lots of Instagram. Oh my gosh! And you actually pictures are so incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, so unique. And everyone is so unique. And don't stress. You remember something. Don't stress to find your niche, because at the first I was stressing, oh, I don't have a niche. And it came to me. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
But it came
Suddenly.
to me. Yeah. Suddenly everyone says I'm doing a floating shot. I'm doing, I
Yeah.
actually love it. Yeah, that's it. It came to me out of nowhere. I didn't know that I'm going to be this. I'm going, this is my direction in photography. It just came to me. But
Yeah.
yeah, some people are like bright and airy and they known for that. Some people dark and moody blocks. It just came into, you have to try different styles at the beginning to have to do. Then
It
you'll
is
figure it.
so
It will
true.
come to you. That your niche will come to you.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning I was also so nervous because I couldn't find what I like and I liked
Yeah,
everything and I tried everything. And then just over the time, suddenly, without even
yeah,
noticing, I realized that I'm doing something very
exactly. Yeah,
specific to me.
yeah, very specific.
It just comes
Yeah,
so suddenly, and you shouldn't stress about it in the beginning. Just try
yeah.
everything, I think,
Yeah,
until you find
people
something you
stress.
love.
Yeah, and sometimes they found something really amazing on the internet and tried really hard to be, but it's not. It's not them. It's not you.
Yeah,
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 don't try something you don't feel it's comfortable doing it. You don't feel like. Don't stress it out. Don't stress. Just let yourself be. Let your creativity go and shoot whatever you like, and try. Just try.
yeah. That's a
Yeah,
very good advice.
yeah. I like this one because I was really hard. It was really hard at the beginning. I was so stressed
For
about
me
this
too.
point. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we found our niche.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, actually,
Mm.
I have one more question.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Just curious, when you photograph for restaurants, do you also do some sort of floating shots for them, or you just do the
Yeah.
usual restaurant
Yes.
photography?
Yes, I do for them, but not usually not that much because if I usually will need a food stylist with me if I'm doing a shoot because we have a very large amount of dishes and a very
Hmm.
limited time. So I usually have a food stylist, especially for the floating ones. For the non-floating ones, I usually do the framing and whatever they are, just prepare the dishes and do. I do a little tweaks here and there, but for the floating stuff and levitation stuff, I have to have a food stylist if the time is sensitive. Sometimes they say, okay, you can come on to shoots, but do whatever you want. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I actually have a last shoot, a couple of last week. They wanted all of their dishes floating in one day. It was really hard. I told them we have to get a food stylist. It would be really hard to do all of them floating and splashes here and there. You have to find something to do it. It was terrible.
How
And
do you
I
make that in one day? How many dishes was
yeah,
there?
it was like 14 dishes or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was hard. And we had right before this, it was Dubai weather is terrible. It's very hot. It's like
Uh-huh.
101 Fahrenheit. It was extremely hard, and they have a very teeny tiny
Uh-huh.
for and they wanted shoes, but to be honest, they were a couple of pictures. They wanted like three or four, but it was terrible. We just spent 4 hours doing the shoots, and they had food styles with me, but I was drained. The weather was terrible. Dubai weather, if you need to come and see to know exactly. It
Oh
was
my
like
God.
it was like if sitting in. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. Let me just say it was terrible. Yeah, it was the hardest shoots I did.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
was
difficult.
yeah, and the weather itself, we have to do levitation outside, outdoors. So
Uh-huh.
it's sometimes it gets windy.
Outdoors.
Yeah, it was
Ay, ay.
outdoors. Yeah, and the weather was
Uh-huh.
terrible. And we have to do like the wind came and just took everything out. I had to
No
do my
way.
setup. Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 pictures. It wasn't a big deal, but it took a long time because of we
Uh-huh.
were outside, and we shoot outside, and we do levitation shots. So it was
Uh-huh.
really hard. It was extremely hard. I said,
Jesus.
yeah,
But then you also take all your equipment, like C
yeah,
stands and everything, to hang
yeah,
everything as well, right?
yeah, yeah. It was hard. It was really hard.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure out a different way.
Uh-huh, to make it easier for
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm trying actually now. I'm thinking about building a system to if it can be to get something like available, or just to make
Mhm.
something like set up, like open and put it. It have all the strings in it. I'm trying to figure
Uh-huh.
out something. Oh, I'm searching. I'm in a hunt. If you have any ideas, please let me know.
I'll think about it, but that makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah. To
yeah.
speed up the process makes sense.
Yeah, it took a long time to set up. That's why I'm trying to think about if I can't. And then some people use like every single part of the shot by itself
Uh-huh.
and put them together in Photoshop. In Photoshop, sorry, but I don't find it realistic because I think the
Hmm.
shadows need to be like right, just right, need to be right. So
Hmm.
I try my best to do it in one shot, in one whole
Yeah.
shot. So the setup and just to control every single aspect of it is, oh, it's not good. So it takes a
Tricky.
longer time and tricky, yeah, and very tricky. So I need to find the system. Yeah,
Yes.
this is my
Okay, good
mission.
luck in finding your system.
Yeah,
I think that's but that's exciting in any case. I think that's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and really cool what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Riham, I think
Okay.
we're gonna slowly close off. So the last question would be, where can the listeners find you?
Okay, they can find me on Instagram at photoshoot underscore by underscore Riham. This is a terrible name, I know, and it's a very long name. And that's it. And I'm available online only on Instagram. I need to. I'm building my website. Hopefully soon I can share it,
Hmm.
and hopefully soon I can spread around the social media. I only
Very
have this
cool.
right now. Yeah, yeah.
We're very curious to see your behind the scenes still.
Oh yeah, I will do. Okay, I'll do it. But I'm not the mess. Okay, just ignore the mess when when I
The
post.
mess is part of it. We know it. The mess is part of it.
Yeah, it's not appealing at
I know.
all.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, thank you very much.
thank you
Thank you for
so much.
joining me. It was
Thank
my
you
pleasure
so
talking
much.
to you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I really love your podcast, by the way. I listen to it every day.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. You're amazing in what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.